Welcome to the Brass and Woodwind Shop. I am putting corks on flute keys, and the E-flat key is done a little bit differently than the other keys. I'll show you how to do that. The E-flat key, which is on the foot joint of the flute, has a lot thicker cork than all of the other keys. So where do you get this thicker cork? This is the cork from a head joint of a flute, and it works well for this purpose. If you do a lot of flute work, you'll probably have a lot of these old corks laying around. Used dirty corks are fine because when you're done cutting it, all the dirty stuff will be cut off of it. On some flutes where you put the cork is flat, on others like this one it's hollowed out. If you glue the cork just onto the edge, it probably will not stick there very well. So what we do about that is we fill it up with another cork first before we put on the thick cork. I'm going to take some cork cement and paint it onto the surface of the cork. And I'm also going to, if I can get it unstuck, paint it on the surface of the key where the cork sticks. Then I'm going to wait a few minutes for that to dry. I put those off to the side, and while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to prepare the flute head cork. To do this job, you'll need a sharp razor. Dull razors do not cut cork well. So take the sharp razor and then cut right down the middle of the head cork. Now you end up with two corks that you can use for two different E-flat keys. Take one of them and cut it to about the length you're going to need. Since the cork had a hole in the middle, you're going to want to cut it so that the groove is gone. So I'm going to take this and carefully cut it right along the edge of the hole, like that. You want a flat surface to work with, so take some sandpaper and just work it on the sandpaper for a little while until it's flat. And that should be good. Now the contact cement is dry and the little piece that fills in the hollow spot is ready to go on. So put that in there like that and push it around the edges. And then to flatten that so it matches the surface of that one, you take the razor and again carefully cut right along the surface of the key, and that gives you a flat surface to work with. Take the contact cement again and put some on the surface of the key and the surface of the cork. And wait for that to dry for a few minutes, and then you can stick the two together. It's been a few minutes and the glue is dry, so put the two together and then squeeze it so that it sticks well. Now cut off the excess cork, and to start you can just cut it parallel to the key. Cut it all the way around. And this is why you want a sharp razor, because this cork is thick, it's a little harder to cut. If you have a dull razor, you'll be sawing with it and it will not cut well. I've cut the cork so that it's a 90-degree angle to the surface of the key, and you can leave it a 90-degree angle on this side, but the other side you need to bevel it more. Take the razor and you cut it at an angle and just follow the contour of the key as you go around. I cut that a little sloppy, so I'm going to clean it up and make it look nicer. And then you cut an angle into the key like that. Now I'm going to neaten up the cork so that it looks nice. I'm going to cut a little bit big. I'm going to cut a little bit more of an angle right there. What you want to end up with is this shape right here, but smaller on the bottom. So cut off whatever does not look like that, and there we end up with that. Now we have this, which is the same side as the top but smaller. So I'm done cutting around here, and this usually is a little bit too thick. So take the razor and cut off a little bit of the surface, and this gets rid of the last of the dirty part. To finish the job, take a small piece of sandpaper, usually around 100 grit, and sand down the sides of the cork. Be careful not to get the silver part or you will damage that. Sand it all the way around, and that sanding it neatens it up and takes off any rough edges that there might be. And that is what you end up with. Now the job is done. The only thing that's left is you may have to sand down the bottom of the cork if you need to get the key to open farther. And you do that by putting the sandpaper underneath it and push down on the key and pull the sandpaper out. And do that as much as needed to get the key to open the right height. I hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe for more band instrument repair videos.